The Lighthouse of Alexandria, sometimes called the Pharos of Alexandria, was a lighthouse built by the Ptolemaic kingdom of ancient Egypt during the reign of Ptolemy II. Pharos was a small island located on the western edge of the Nile Delta. Alexandria's emphasis on trade combined with its international reputation for excellence meant that it needed both a guide to encourage ships to approach its shores and a landmark by which to reflect its reputation. The perfect monument for such a purpose was a lighthouse. It has been estimated to have been at least 100 meters in overall height. One of the seven wonders of the ancient world. For many centuries it was one of the tallest man-made structures in the world. It lasted around 1,600 years, until it was toppled and collapsed, probably by an earthquake. At its apex was a mirror which reflected sunlight during the day. A fire was lit at night. The lighthouse was constructed in the 3rd century BC, and took 12 years to complete at a total cost of 800 talents of silver. There is an interesting story is told about the construction of this lighthouse, which is as follows. The designer and constructor of the lighthouse, Sostratus, was a famous architect at the time. But he was forbidden by Ptolemy to put his name on his work, as it was traditional. Nevertheless, he wanted that his descendants would recognize him even after his death. So, he engraved his name in large letters on the stone front of the lighthouse, and added a text bestowed a blessing on all those who read and understood the inscription. Sostratus, the son of Dexophanes the sea Ennidian to Savior gods, for the seafarers. And he plastered over the stone. He then inscribed the name of Ptolemy on the plaster, along with effusive praise for the king's wisdom and accomplishments. Natural forces eventually carried out his plot to perfection. Over the years, sun, wind, and salt air gradually eroded the plaster. The name of Ptolemy slowly disappeared, replaced by the inscription of Sostratus. Thus, he successfully received credit for designing one of the true wonders of the world for around 1,600 years, without risking his life. Legend has it that the heirs of Ptolemy enjoyed the cleverness of Sostratus's trickery so much that they did not efface the architect's name or replaster the stones on which he erased their forefathers' glory. This story likely is apocryphal, but what we should note is that in the BC era, Sostratus had already used a problem-solving technique called attribute dependency, which changes one attribute of a product or its environment in response to a change in another attribute.